he keeps it live. Ooh, yeah. Master of the deals, he's got that stride. They can say what they want, but he's got that grace. Living large and he's taking up space. Shake that drummer off like a backhoe. Truck train rolling with a heart of gold. Bust the moves, let the haters talk. Got the groove, sparks when he walks. Funky spark. Trump's got the funk, he's got the groove. Innocent vibes, he makes a move. Ooh yeah. Trump's got the funk, he's got the groove. Innocent vibes, he makes a move. Ooh yeah. Uh-huh. Ooh yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good. Whoa. What do I have here? I accidentally had something up. My apologies for that. Actually, I feel like the cannon should have worked. Hey, good morning. Good morning. What's up, mi amigos? What is going on with everyone? Happy Monday. It is a beautiful July the 15th, and you might notice something a little bit different about me, and that's because the last time we all spoke together, I was nothing but a mere 20-year-old, a person, a young man who knew nothing of the way the world worked, nothing at all. There I was, basically a toddler, and now you see before you an old, decrepit man. When I left you, I was in my 20s, and now that we're here again live, I am in my 30s, and it's basically game over from everything I can understand. I mean, like a Pokemon, my birthday came and I evolved, and now I instantly put on 10 pounds of weight, just pure fat. My knees started to hurt, couldn't remember my own name. Got really interested in reading about World War II. Just like that. Overnight, I woke up on the day of my birth, my celestial trips around this universe, and I evolved. And here we are. Knee pain, fat, balding, hyper increased interest in previous global conflicts. And I guess this is my life now. I guess this is, back hair. Yeah, no. Back hair, back hurt, and back hair now. All of it, just all together. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. But with that, hopefully comes the calmness and the maturity and the lucid thought to crush it in the markets. Because, folks, that's what we're here to do today. We are here to see if we can get the upper hand in the world's largest casino. And man, oh man, is there plenty of opportunity. Now, I don't really want to bury the lead or anything like that really too much, because obviously over the weekend, it was a truly historic moment. There's no way you figured out how to be on the internet and watch my show and not know what happened over the weekend. So I don't think I'm informing anyone about this, but yes, there was an attempted assassination on the former president and current leading candidate for the Republican Party, Donald J. Trump. Folks, it shows that this life is a game of millimeters, because had there been a slight multi-millimeter movement of the bullet, history would have been wildly different. It's already wildly different in the fact that it happened, but at least unfortunately, there was a life loss. I don't think it's getting as much attention as it should. Mr. Trump, former President Donald J. Trump, he will be at Corey's funeral. So yes, I think there's a lot of chit chat about this, and people are forgetting that, like, yes, an innocent life was lost with this. I don't know. It's wild. So I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on that. I know I'm not informing anyone that, oh, you're like, oh, I didn't even know that happened. Like, I get that we all know that it happened. And I'm no Secret Service agents. I'm no political expert. I'm none of that. But I think we could talk about it from a slightly different vantage point of what in the world does this mean for Trump Media and Technology Group. DJT is up in excess of 50% this morning. And actually, somewhat related, shout out to everyone watching on Rumble right now, Rumble's up 12%. So yes, I'm by no means saying that this is the most important thing. I'm just saying, hey, it's the thing that I happen to know the most about as related to this entire situation. So once again, I fully understand markets going up, markets going down, people making money, people losing money. When lives are lost, I fully recognize that this is not the most important thing. It just, the things that are more important, I have no expertise knowledge on it. So I'm here, we could watch the charts, we could talk about the shorts, we could talk about that. Obviously, I want to talk about what this means in the larger scale, in terms of, okay, we see certain companies going up, which ones might take a hit, because if you guys saw anything about mainstream media, they completely dropped the ball this weekend. And then from there, I want to talk a little bit about like the polls and whatnot and what this means. And I don't know if you guys do or don't follow me on Twitter /X or whatever you want to call it. But as soon as this happened, I truly believe Trump was already leading in the polls. Any poll that was respected really had Trump in the lead, especially after Biden's disastrous debate. But this deal now, I think I would bet my entire net worth that Trump is going to be the next president of the United States if he lives to that point, which obviously, hopefully he does, knock on wood. But right now, we've seen this before. We've seen how candidates in the past carry a certain symbolism to them. And one of the craziest ones ever was when JFK beat Nixon back in the day. It was the first televised debate. People who were used to listening to it or only listened to it via the radio, they thought, okay, Nixon sounded better. He sounded more put together. But because it was the first televised debate, some people started watching it, and people who watched it actually thought JFK was the winner because he had a better appearance. He looked more put together. He looked more suave. He just seemed calmer. So it kind of, once again, like, of course, this is now an absurd extreme example, but I'm just trying to articulate how historically in U.S. politics, and that's just one example of many, where a lot of the times candidates take on like a certain symbolism. And remember, especially now, we live in the day and age of people are kind of just voting off of headlines that they read. They create their own mental framework. We're not in a day and age where people dive into the nuances, understand the details. So my entire reasoning for this, like it or not, is that the symbolism is now Biden is what Trump always calls him, sleepy Biden, but in reality, like, he's just an older man who's losing his mind, and it's completely insane. That is being a guy who falls, like, cannot make it up a step of stairs, cannot remember names whatsoever. You have a guy who's, unfortunately, his faculties are failing, versus another guy who got shot and then seconds later was standing up, basically saying F you, pumping his hand. They've taken on their own symbolisms, right, wrong, or indifferent. And I think due to the public momentum, obviously Trump's is positive and then Biden's is negative. Due to that momentum and due to that symbolism, I feel, like I said, I would bet my entire net worth if the election were like right now, I don't think Trump would just win. I think it would almost be Reagan-esque. I think it would be so absurdly lopsided. Maybe you guys don't know this, but with Reagan, there was an assassination attempt on his life when he was campaigning, and for that actual election, I believe, feel free to fact check me on this part of it, but I believe he won 49 out of the 50 states. It was the most lopsided election that America has ever seen. So obviously there's some crazy news from over the weekend. I'm not trying to bury the lead or anything, but I also don't want to be like, oh, it's crazy when events happen and then apparently everyone on Twitter is an expert in that thing. Over the weekend, I didn't realize that everyone with a Twitter account all of a sudden became like a law enforcement, Secret Service, rifle expert out of nothing. They're like, oh, nope, we actually all have upper level expertise knowledge in that. I don't know the rules or anything of that when it comes to Secret Service or protecting a president. This might surprise you, but I've never been in the Secret Service. Looking at me, you might be like, oh, you seem like a guy who's protected the president before. Yeah, I get that I look like that, like really rugged and put together, know my way around some weaponry, but it's not me. In fact, it is actually not me at all. So yeah, we're going to cover this stuff. Maybe we can find some experts to like learn from and I guess garner some useful information from. But other than that, I think we're going to focus a little bit more on the things that I have a bit more knowledge in, the old gambling casino stock market. And it should be a fun one because DJT, which is the ticker symbol for Trump Media and Technology Group, they own True Social, is ripping. Rumble is ripping. So if anything, it's more of like we're going to talk about a couple potential squeeze alerts. And maybe in between there, we could find some information from people who have actual true information on just some of the events over the weekend. But also don't forget that the RNC officially starts today. I believe it runs all week or at least 15th to the 18th. So RNC is going on right now. The timing of this is all just, it's crazy what's happening. We are living in a very pivotal historical moment. So obviously we got to appreciate that a little bit. And I think also the most important thing, and I alluded to it a bit, but I just want to say it once again because I think it's that important. I'm not saying that Corey, which is the gentleman who lost his life attempting to protect his family, successfully protecting his family. I'm not saying it's being like swept under the rug. I know that it's getting some attention. It's just, in my opinion, whenever you have events like this, I am of the opinion that media should always be giving the victim 10 times more attention than the actual perpetrator. We see this time and time again where, I mean, these people, their minds are so mentally deranged. They want that attention. That's what they want. That's why, I mean, there's been countless psychological studies on this, and that's part of what they're going for. Like whenever you hear about a lot of these horrific events, not all of them, people want that attention. These horrible, horrendous human beings, and yet the media gives it to them time and time again. So obviously, thoughts out to Corey's family. Just a truly horrendous event. And I wish there was something slightly different about the media and the perception of media and what they're doing. But I think they should be focusing a bit more on him rather than some of these other people. But hey, once again, those are just my 2 thoughts. My other 3 thoughts are the fact that once again, dingity ding ding ding, we have hit a new all-time high. The S&P 500, 563.67, and we're not that far away from it this morning. The Qs did also hit a new all-time high, not on Friday of last week, but Wednesday, 503.52. And the new play, the new hot kid in town is IWM. The Russell 2000 is the cool kid to be, and it is already pumping once again. What was this high? I want to see it take out 215 today, which is literally where we're at. So the high from last week was 214.94. That was also the high on Friday. Right now, we're trading slightly above that at 214.98. You guys know that I'm bullish on this ever since the inflation reports last week. I'm looking for it to take out 220, looking for it to go to 225, and then battle it out in the 227 region. So the 3 major indexes, well, really 4, the Dow's also looking good. So the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, Russell 2000, and Dow 30 are all looking real strong. Tech sector on that relative basis is looking the weakest. We're seeing a bit of rotation, but that's just because the tech sector has been the strongest. I also want to shout out that over the weekend, Bitcoin made a crazy recovery. Bitcoin was selling off, but now that the whole Mount Gox situation is kind of like priced in, and now that the government of Germany is done selling their Bitcoin, they're at zero, zilch, not a goose egg. Now that selling pressure from those 2 events, well, one's priced in and the other one's officially done, we're seeing a bit of relief in Bitcoin. So I don't want anyone sleeping on that. All right, let's really get into it. Dow futures rise 200 points after Trump survives assassination attempt. Absolutely wild. So this all went down Saturday around, I want to say it was in Butler, Pennsylvania. That's Pittsburgh, the lower west corner, right outside of that. And it is, I want to say Saturday evening, 6, 7 p.m., something like that. That's where it went crazy. So that is going to be a lot of the backdrop for the market today. But there's other things to consider, such as seasonality. Don't forget, July is the second most bullish month of the entire year, just behind November. But anyway, the second half of July, yes, there is a push in the S&P 500. Once again, seasonally, July is very, very bullish. Is that a guarantee? No, it's just an interesting factoid, if you will, of how the stock market has performed in the month of July over the past 2 decades. And generally, well, not generally, but very much more than generally, it has paid to be a bull in the month of July. So the big news, this is what came out Saturday. I tweeted this out, history being written. This is going to go down. I mean, this photo right here, there's actually a lot of photos that were very impactful, very moving, just very crazy from the event. But right there, I think this picture will live in infamy basically forever. Bold and bloody Trump seizes the moment after being shot. The former president's defiant display after an assassination attempt at his rally made for a lasting image, immediately supercharging his 2024 bid. It was already supercharged after Biden's poor performance at the debate. And as I alluded to at the start of this show, I think how this particular event played out, how he got up defiantly, was pumping his fist with this picture, I think it basically locked it in. I was seeing some crazy things that, like, the very next day he was playing golf and he was already like joking about it. Apparently one of the caddies at the golf course that I was playing at, once again, this is just something on the internet, so take it with a grain of salt. Might be real, might not. But also when you're about to hear it, it kind of does sound a lot like Trump. The next day already cracking jokes. He was I don't know, he sunk a difficult putt and he's like, unlike the shooter, I don't miss. And like, as you could see, it grazed his ear right here. Had his head been tilted slightly differently, had he been moving around a little bit, I mean, who knows how wild this week would have really been. Obviously, off of this, odds of Trump winning the 2024 election surged to a new high after the assassination attempt. He was pushing 69% at one point. U.S. Secret Service faces intense scrutiny after the attempted assassination for good reasons. Once again, I am not a Secret Service expert, but just from a layman like myself, it seems like a lot of things went egregiously wrong on this whole ordeal. Like, just... I think there deserves to be an in-depth investigation into the failings of this, because it seemed absurd, absolutely absurd that this could have ever happened. But once again, that's not my forte, and I'm going to let the experts actually delve into it, share a little bit more information, but it seems nuts. A lot of people were starting to, as the internet always does, dive into some of the things that have played out over the past couple weeks, past couple months. And there have been a small cohort of people who have been saying, hey, we think that the way things are trending and the rhetoric going on right now, there's a chance that there's going to be an assassination attempt. And at the time, they were called crazy. They're like, you're just attempting to stoke a civil war, blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, they were right. So I think there's a couple people who really deserve an apology out there, because, I mean, they've been making these call outs in the past couple weeks, the past couple months, and they were, once again, unfortunately correct, but they were literally just being called crazy people, nuts. And this is what happens. So fact check, Democrats are the ones calling for violence or physical confrontations. This is a little 2-minute rip clip. I mean, check it out. We wonder how it boils over so bad, but then these are the people leading the country.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
they're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
That's it right there. Pull it up.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
If you ever wonder why tensions seem so horrifically high, so horrifically bad, it's because the people at the top, and it's probably both sides. I'm not here saying it's exclusively from one side, but clearly tensions are boiling over. It's horrific. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. That was the live update from CNN. And I understand when there's breaking news, sometimes you have to go through various sources of checking before you could put out like something like an assassination attempt. The crazy thing here is this headline actually stayed up for way too long. I mean, it doesn't take much. It took minutes to realize what was truly going on. So the fact that it wasn't updated within the first 10 minutes is absolutely, truly insane. This is another thing I was firing off on Friday, the end of CNN, and it rightfully should be, but it's not just them. Trump escorted away after loud noises at PA rally. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after popping noises heard at his Pennsylvania rally. Trump removed from the stage by Secret Service after loud noise startles former president and crowd. This concept of like rushing to have to get something out, and they just end up putting out some of the most asinine things. This is something we've talked about quite a bit before, but this is another perfect example of why I truly believe media, mainstream media, is dying, and it's dying a very quick, painful death. Well, no, it's a slow, painful death. I shouldn't say it's quick because it's been going this way for a while. But people just, now that there's the rise of individual content creators, obviously you have people like Bongino, Crowder, Russell Brand, who are some of the leading streamers, not just on Rumble, but in the world. I mean, it's on a daily basis. It's really, really tough to find anyone beating Dan Bongino's show. It's borderline impossible. And to me, that shows this sentiment that people are now more interested in listening to and talking with and engaging individual commentators on the situation rather than an entire like giant conglomerate of a media business pushing their own initiatives for whatever reason, whether they're getting paid to do this, they're trying to cover this up, they have their own political bias. Like, you could go down the rabbit hole of what they say and why they say it and who's saying it. But I think it really the ending point is just the fact that I think mainstream media is dying a very slow, painful death. I think if you fast forward a decade from now, the more that this will be less and less. I mean, how many people are really just consuming this on a daily basis? Most people have live TV at this point exclusively to watch sports. And now even that, we're seeing services spin off. No one's really engaging with the news to engage with the news. I mean, and this isn't just my own opinion. Like, they have these ratings and it's just dying and dying and dying. Trump shooting live updates. Trump in Milwaukee for RNC. Biden calls for national unity. So Trump, right away, that's a pretty baller move. Just to days later, he's like, all right, gotta go, gotta keep going. I mean, that's insane for any human to do, no less just the position that Trump's in. Absolutely wild. With all this swing state odds, you can see Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Arizona. Trump has a new high lead in all of these. So after the horrible events of this weekend, Trump is now leading in Pennsylvania 67-33, leading in Wisconsin 65-35, Michigan 61-39, and Arizona 78-22. These are all incredibly important swing states, and what this is doing is just making the chance of the presidency being Republican. This is now clocking in at 70. I honestly think it's going to be higher. It depends on the poll you're looking at. So presidency, 72% Republican, Senate, 79%, and House, 56%. With these odds, that means there's a 52% chance, better than flipping a coin, that the Republicans control all three. Obviously, if you do some of the math, 14% that Democrats control all three, as in not going to happen. The one that's close is the House. As of right now, the presidency and the Senate are strongly, it's likely and leaning likely for presidency and Senate. The House is the one that's a little bit better than a toss-up. So that's the one, and just has to do with how these are elected and the seats and all that good jazz. But right now, the point is that the red wave that people thought was going to exist in the midterm election and was nowhere to be found is very much being felt at this exact moment in time. Once again, as I've already, I guess, said 40 freaking times, I know that this is not the most important thing, but it is the thing that we talk about the most. And here, the old stock market and DJT is ripping. Trump media shares surge 55% in pre-market trading after the assassination attempt. So if you bring up DJT, it is moving. Closed out last week at 30.89, currently trading at 47.30. It is up 53% in pre-market trading. And it's not the only one. Rumble, obviously the video sharing platform where a lot of people have the right to freedom of speech, so they could talk about this without being censored. Hence why I'm on it. Closed at 594, currently trading at 670. It is up over 12% in pre-market trading. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of questions about it, so I'm just going to give you the numbers straight up. As of market close on Friday, the short interest against DJT was just under 15%, the cost to borrow 14%, and the utilization 87.5. It is no longer on the threshold list, but with that being said, they still have not given the public any of the report right here. There's just this blackout period. So this is when it was on the threshold list. But if you look at the FTDs, we still have none of the numbers from March until now. We simply don't know what's going on with the FT. Fails to deliver, which is a type of fail to deliver, is naked shorting. Are all fails to deliver naked shorting? No, but all naked shorts are fails to deliver. Anyway, just wanted to share that because, we're seeing gigantic movement. Is this a short squeeze? It could turn into one just because of that 15% short interest. But to me right here, this movement right now is just FOMO. It's excitement. It's the symbolism of support, when really what DJT is that ticker symbol is the symbolism of the market financial support for Trump. Yes, it is associated with True Social, but like we've seen in the past with GameStop and AMC and Doge and Shiba, we see certain equities take on a larger value than exclusively the business value. And that's what we're seeing right now with DJT. It is clearly trading outside of just the fundamentals of its core business. This has a lot to do with FOMO, excitement, and support for Trump and the high likelihood that he will be the next president. That's not the only stock to pay attention to. We are officially in the start of earnings season. So reporting today, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, we'll come back to them. And then throughout the week this week, a lot of financial players this week, and then tech is going to get going next week. Feel free to screenshot this. Feel free to get it from at eWhispers on Twitter. Don't forget to get to the newsletter, mattcors.locals.com. When you sign up for that, you could be a member, which is 100% free, and you get this newsletter every single weekend to your email inbox. I break down what happened in the week, what I look forward to in the upcoming week, all the major macroeconomic events. Today, Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, will be speaking at 12:30. We are going to be doing a specialty stream for it. Once again, 12:30 today, halfway through lunch, the chairman of the Fed will be speaking. Retail sales tomorrow, some CPI stuff for the Eurozone and other stuff. It's a busy week when you look at all the major macroeconomic events, all the earnings. The seasonality for today is leaning bullish. Not the most bullish day. They've only won it 40% of the time, but when they do win, the bulls win with considerable size. And very quickly, just to be as transparent as I can, to give you my wrap up of how Friday went, I got absurdly lucky. I was very undisciplined. I was ending my 20s on a bad trading day, and I simply got lucky at the end. Horrible trade, lost 3.7K. Horrible trade, lost 1.65K. And then finally, at the end of the day, I got lucky, made 6.8. So by the time you do it, I made 1.5K before fees, probably 1.2K after fees. I got lucky. I mean, sometimes it's better to be lucky than skillful. Friday was a very, very undisciplined day for me. But anyway, if you want to trade with me in the Discord, you could do so for free. Sign up as a supporter on Locals, mattcors.locals.com. And on that note, dingity, ding, 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 the casino is open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly. If not, have fun. All right, as the casino is getting going, shout out to today's stream partner and the longtime friend of the channel, and friend of the Discord, Public. Public is by far my favorite place to trade options. That's why when I'm trading options with size, like right here on the screen, this is my Russell play currently sitting up $13,000 on it. I always choose to do it on Public. The reason I do it on Public for options, there's no commission fees, no per contract fees. It is by definition the most cost-effective way to trade options because you get a rebate. I know of no other brokerage on this planet that pays you to trade options. Every time you buy or sell a call, so like when you buy a call, then sell it, you get paid rebates on both. When you buy a put, then sell a put, you're getting paid a rebate. So I love trading options there. On top of it, if you're trading stock, they don't engage in payment for order flow. Yes, they allow crypto. They have a high yield account. And honestly, I think it's a game changer in the world of UI and UX with respect to bond trading. So I'm a huge fan of it. I think you guys should all check it out. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. But if you are on a retail-centric brokerage and all of a sudden they're not giving you the offerings that Public is. I mean, Public is the one setting the bar. These other ones, their clients are market makers. You're just the middleman for them to make money off of. Public does it completely differently. Public cares about you and your success as a trader. You are the person who they're attempting to build for, not some of these other competitors who exclusively are trying to get better deals with the likes of Citadel or Virtu. So if you are on one of these retail-centric brokerages where all of a sudden they're just hammering you with payment for order flow, my personal recommendation is just to get the F off of it at a minimum. And if you're looking for somewhere else, I think Public is the place you should go simply because of the rebate, which is not offered anywhere else. Highly recommend you checking it out. Shout out to Public, pinned to the top of chat and in the description of the video. And actually, this one is crushing it. Oops. Look at that. It's moving today. Moving and grooving. All right, let's go back to this. Let's get ready. How are we doing? A little bit of a choppy open thus far. But we're only 3 minutes in. We're only 3 minutes in. All right, that choppy opening on the Qs. DJT currently up 41%. So above my head, just in case it's not on the screen, DJT is right there up 40%. RUM's up 10%. Tesla's up 2. NVIDIA's up 1. Coinbase, because Bitcoin's popping so much, is up 5.5. Meta's a little red. Netflix slightly green. Apple up 2.8%. Microsoft slightly green, Amazon slightly red, oil sitting at 82 a barrel, gold is at 2.4, TLT coming down a little bit, it's at 93, Texas Roadhouse recovering, it's at 170, Palo Alto Networks taking a bit of a hit, and Broadcom up 1%. So overall, a strong opening, not the strongest opening we've ever seen, but right now, yes, clearly a strong opening. So the SPY's pushing right there. I believe that's a new all-time high on the SPY. Let me double check. Nope, we're close. Sorry, I thought it was 562.67, but 563.67. I do have that marked out right here. This green line, this is the all-time high on the SPY. So let's see if that ends up getting taken out today. And I'm also, so not only am I looking for a new all-time high on the SPY, I'm looking for a break of not the all-time high, but the high from Friday on the Qs. If that were to happen, it actually might prompt me to take another bullish position on tech, and I already have a bullish position on the Russell. I'm looking for it to get above and hold above 215, and I would love to see a test of 220. Do I think that's going to happen today? No, but this is what I'm looking for in the next, like, ideally couple trading days if everything goes my way. As of right now, the 5-minute, the 10-minute, and the 30-minute are all bullish on the S&P 500. The 5-minute, the 10-minute, and the 30-minute are all bullish on the NASDAQ. The 5-minute and the 10-minute are bearish on the Russell, but the 30-minute is bullish right now. And these, if you're wondering what this indicator is on your screen, it's just exponential moving average, just colorized. All it is EMAs. It's like 5 different EMAs all put together. It's nothing big brain. It's nothing special. It's literally the exponential moving average, an indicator that I know many of you watching right now are intimately familiar with, and it's just colorized in between. There's nothing special. It's just literally exponential moving averages. Yes, I know RUM is moving. It's up 10%. It's kind of almost being traded as a pair with DJT. Even their intraday action looks really similar. But right now, I've been saying this, and I feel like a little bit of a crazy person because I feel like I've been saying it for a while, but I think something crazy is going on with DJT just on the fact that it's been so long with any of the failed to deliver report. That's insane in itself. But then also it's on the threshold list, which means that there's an abnormal amount of it. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. I think it's something that needs to get more attention, but maybe one of these days someone will notice it. I use Webull. Well, that's silly. Webull very much engages in payment for order flow. So if you're buying or selling stock on Webull, you are the product to them. You are not, you're just there for them to make money. They want to route all of your trades right to Citadel, right to Virtu, right to some other market maker, and they're just trying to get paid for it. The chance of you trading on Webull and your trade hitting a lit exchange is slim to freaking none. While on the other side, when you're trading stock on public, it's the inverse. There's an absurdly high chance your trades are actually going to a lit exchange. They're just doing it completely differently. Can we keep Tesla up there? Yeah, Tesla is having a great day. Happy to have it up. Coinbase is having a great day too. So right now, the biggest gainer on my watch list, here, I'll start stacking these. The biggest gainer on my watch list is DJT, followed by RUM, followed by Coinbase, followed by Tesla. So we could kind of switch through these throughout the day. The Qs, not having the best opening. We've definitely seen stronger openings. How's the Russell looking? The Russell's also flat. So the Qs and the Russell are flat while the SPY is going up to the high from 2 days ago. I want to see if the SPY is going to take out a new all-time high. All right, let's see how options are going this morning. We don't have that much data because we are only 7 minutes into the trading day, but we could see right here at 9:33, people started buying calls. The orange and the green lines are calls. The green line is today's expiration. The orange is all expirations put together. The 2 blue lines are puts, and then the white line is going to be the price of the S&P 500, or we could just collapse them together. So once again, the white line is the price of the S&P 500, and the price axis is over here on the left. On the right side is the delta notional. Basically, if it's going up, that's bullish for the options market. If it's going down, that's bearish from the options market. But basically, it's overlaying what's happening in the derivatives market, because a lot of the times, especially with 0DTs, they seem to kind of control the movement for the day. They very much seem to control the movement for the day. So SPY a little flat, Q's a little flat, Russell everything's a little flat. I guess like a little Monday morning hangover trying to decide what they want to do. But Tesla's definitely moving. RUM's moving. I mean, these are some nice gains on the watch list right now. I mean, even coins ripping, Tesla's ripping, DJT's percentage and RUM's percentage gains are phenomenal. It's just the SPY is starting to pick up right here. Golly. All right, let me make sure. All right, now that I'm an old, decrepit 30-year-old, It's time for me to actually be disciplined when it comes to the world of trading. And let's see. And that's not loading at all. Why is this not loading for me? Is anyone else having strange issues with Trading View? There we go. Finally started to load. Coin Tesla ripping. Here's DJT. Maybe some profit taking or something like that, but still up the most on my watch list, just trending down slightly right now. Same with Rumble, still up a considerable amount, but Coin and Tesla are just running right now. Running. There goes the SPY. Here goes the Qs. What in the world are we doing? All right. Here we go. Nothing's traded yet. Oh, literally as
order submit. Target filled.
Playing a little bit of a opening morning breakout here. Just went long on a lot of my things in the queues. A lot, almost like uncomfortable. I don't like
target
that this
filled.
many traded
order
at once.
Submitted.
But yeah, it's just playing the breakout.
Target order filled.
This is all on the NASDAQ. I'm trading NQ on the futures market via Apex, but some of these are getting locked
order
in.
Filled.
So over the weekend, I don't know, as I was reflecting on my life, I had this idea of a new strategy I wanted to trade, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I rolled out a couple new strategies, which most of the time I'm just trading once a day. This thing is allowed to basically trade all day. So I came up with some new trend following strategies. So if there is a strong trend day, ideally my new strategy should like actually catch it. What's going on here? Why is this one so weak? 306. Here we go. This is the only red one. I don't like that. These other ones have locked in a nice gain.
Order
there we
submitted.
go. There we go. There we go.
Order
there
submitted.
we go.
Target
Wait,
filled.
why isn't the profit being taken on these?
Order canceled.
What in the world's happening? Shouldn't this be taking the profit?
Order canceled.
Maybe because it's a measure. I'm just doing an ATR measurement. Okay, so it already set it up. So what happened here was it locked in a nice one, and then you could see, finally, look at this. This is what a 30-year-old does. Locks in one good trade, locked in 290, and then set the final runner to break even. So no matter what, I'm not going to lose money on it. So yeah, it's up more right now just because things are continuing to trend in my favor. But I thought to myself, I'm a big fan of the methodology of locking in half of your position and attempting to let the other half ride. And I've been talking about it for so long that now I actually did it. So right here, it locked in 250, and then the final position, it might go my way, it might go against me. I don't know. All I know is that I'm protected on the downside. It won't hurt me, I should say. So of course I would love for it to keep going, but when you go fishing, you're not going to catch a fish every single day. That's just how it works. Like you're not going to catch a fish every single time you throw the lure into the water. And that's what this is. I have no idea what the next bar is. All I know is that I need to protect my downside. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm protecting my downside by putting the stop loss to where I got in. And if it runs, great. All I know is I already locked in a little bit. I think I locked in a little bit. Yeah, it locked in 290. So basically, it's never going to get worse than the realized P&L. But the one that's freaking me out a little bit right here. All right, there's two that
order
are
filled.
Freaking
Order
me.
Filled.
All right, so as actually the one that I just showed you, it came down to or to break even, and hey, that's how it goes. But what's cool about this one is if the trend restarts, it'll actually get back into it. So basically, it's trying to trade with the trend of the day, and it just has a very, very specific stop loss that it does not want to break. Hang on, 310. All right, I Don't know why the stops didn't fire on this one because they very much should have. Very much should have. So there's two that, I mean, we saw, I don't know why the stops worked on some, but then weren't in the protective space on the other. Why? Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why is it like that? Let me figure that one out. Out of nowhere, the SPY and the Qs just got hit. Very, very abruptly, very, very aggressively, I might add. Very abrupt, very aggressive. What in the world happened there? Options started dumping. You could see right here, the green and this like purple / red, whatever we want to call it. But the two bars just dumped. Actually, see how they were a leading indicator? They started to sell for a couple minutes and then sold harder. And then finally the price actually broke down. But as of now, the selling's taking a breather. It's trying to decide which way it wants to go. It still looks a bit heavy, in my humble opinion. Still looks a bit heavy, in my humble opinion. What are we going to do here? Coin's still going, moving like no other. Like no freaking other. Coin and Tesla are having a great day. So is DJT, so is Rumble. But now, very quickly, Coin is the second largest gainer on my watch list. It's almost
order filled.
All right, so now this is taking the breakdown. I must have messed something up because these ones should have had their protection already built in. And I don't know why they weren't. 305. 305. 305. What is happening right now? 317.
Order filled.
Okay, that was a protective one. Got stopped out there.
Order filled.
Okay, everything is working at expectation except for these two. I don't know why the risk wasn't thrown in, unless it's just like way wider than I thought it would be. But yeah, some of these are going to keep actively trading, which is what I want. It is what I want. Let me make this a bit bigger so I can catch this. The only thing I might have to do is baby these two. Baby these two positions. Are we going to keep selling here? This is getting kind of bad.
Order filled.
This is dumping. Do I just need to reverse these?
Order filled.
The 5-minute is now below the cloud. The 10-minute is now below the cloud. The 30-minute is still bullish. The 5-minute's now below the cloud. The 10-minute's now below the cloud. The 30-minute is now testing on the NASDAQ. This might be a fake out. All right. I'm going to officially reverse this position in 310. 310. I'm going to reverse this position as well. All right. So I manually overrode those two. I'm reversing it and just... There's nothing big brain about it. I'm just seeing if this actually breaks down right here. It obviously might be found as support. I have no idea. But those two accounts, they weren't doing what they were supposed to anyway. For some reason, the risk management parameters were not working. How's DJT doing?
Filled.
All right. Is this... We had a little bit of seemingly systematic selling here on DJT.
Order filled.
Just being walked down, walked down. Now what's happening? 310. It's still these two stupid accounts that are just causing me such a freaking headache. 317. What was 317? 317.
Order filled.
Dude, that one got lit up. Is this where it saves itself? Was that the bottom of the day? Was that the smart trade of the day?
Order filled.
You know what? I'll take a stab at it. I'll take a stab
Order
at it.
filled. Order filled. Order canceled.
I'll
Order filled.
take a stab at this one. All right, let me throw my options position on for today. All right, how much do I like this actually? I'm trying to be that disciplined. So this is bullish right here. The 10-minute came down, attempted to bounce the 5-minute.
Order filled.
Oh, brother. I think I just need to rip it.
Order filled.
70. Are the Qs about to get hit here? The thing that's freaking me out is I like what I'm seeing in the SPY,
filled.
but the
Order
Qs.
filled.
All right, that's getting to become a nuisance very rapidly. I didn't do anything yet. I'm just... What are we doing? 5-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute. So the 5 and the 10 and the 30. What are we doing with options? Are dipping the other way. I was about to throw on a bullish position. I just can't bring myself to do it quite yet because the options are not agreeing. Options are selling this whole time. So I haven't done it yet. I guess I just gotta wait because this is... It tried to bounce back. Where was the closing value? All right, so that's where we closed on Friday last week, SPX. So there, you could argue for a gap fill to 5615. Oh, that's a bit of a tough one though. 5-minute kind of breaking down, the 10-minute kind of breaking down, 5-minute kind of, 10-minute kind of. But it's so indecisive. Look at these EMAs. Basically, like, we don't see a large cloud of it trending up or down. It's just really mismatched right here. The tech sector is definitely a bit weaker. You know, what time is it? It's 9:50. I'm going to wait. I'm going to be calm, cool, collected about this one. DJT seems to have found a bottom right around $40. RUM seems to have found a bottom at 630, up 28% and 8% respectively. Tesla's up 4.6. Coin is up 7.8. Nvidia is actually now red. Meta's been red all day. Apple's given back some of its gains. Something crazy right here happened at 9:43. Things just got a little bit rocked at 9:43. Oh, brother, what do we have going on? Apparently I'm in 1 live position, 2 live positions. All right. The only way we can definitively know what is or isn't going to happen here is we got to turn it over to the market gods. We got to ask the Cats Rule the Earth tarot cards to give us the indication for the day. I don't know why I'm sitting here doing all the guesswork of, is the market going to go up? Is the market going to go down? When in reality, we all know there's one clear way to trade, and that's just to cheat. You cheat by asking the market gods, where is the market going to go? So if you guys don't have a cat tarot card like market prediction kit, I'd highly recommend you get it. But remember, it's going to take thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of like just dedication in your life to be able to interpret the cards and the market gods and their will as much as I do. So as always, we're going to give it that good 3 count, no cheating. All right, 3 count. There we go. Abracadabra, alakazam. What's happening in the market today? Come on, tell us. Heart of the cards. Heart of the cards. Heart of the cards. We grabbed the Queen of Swords. Feels like that's a good one. It feels like the Queen of Swords feels like that's a strong one, you know? The Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. We should probably look that up. It feels like it's bullish though. Like just from the get-go. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords indicates a quick-witted, high-achieving person who is loyal and has high ideals. This is the Widow's card, and it may point to someone who has lost a partner or focus on work to the detriment of love and friendship. This card can represent someone who helps your career, or it may challenge you to bring the Queen's incisive qualities to the fore in yourself. Wisdom, advisor, dude, 100%. 100% that has to be good. That's a, I don't know if it's necessarily good for the market, but it feels like if you are like just really top of mind putting discipline there today, feels like you're going to crush it in the market. It feels like it's saying, hey, stick exactly to your own trading plan today. And if you do, you'll be greatly rewarded. So that's how we're going to do. Matt looks tired. That's because I am tired. I don't know if my rib's broken or if it's just bruised. But I did that wakeboarding thing on July 4th and I smashed into the water at a way higher speed than I thought was like, I don't know. I didn't think you got hurt falling into water, but apparently if you do it, yeah, you could get really hurt. So I think it's just bruised because if I poke it, it doesn't really hurt. And I feel like if I broke a rib and I touched it, it would hurt. So I think it's bruised. But anyway, it just keeps me up because I can't sleep. Like I can't sleep on my side or like no matter how I lay down, it just hurts. So I just lay there in pain. So no, I didn't. I appreciate that though. I appreciate that. A pro wakeboarder? No, I would actually say like uniquely bad. All right, the 5 minute and the 10 minute are trying to fight. The 5 minute and the 10 minute are trying to fight. My bias would be bullish just because the 30 minutes holding bullish, the 30 minutes holding bullish, 30 minutes really bullish on RTY. Jesus. All right, I like that. It's attempting to hold. I just need a little bit more confirmation. A little bit more confirmation, and then I can fire this trade off. A little bit more. A little bit more, and then my risk would be obviously the low of the day. My risk would be the low of the day. Looking to take a bit of a wee bit of a bullish position here. Come on, buddy. Come on. DJT's coming back. Taking out 41. Maybe looking at 43 next. What's the SPY going to do here? What's the SPY going to do? Are we bound? I'm just what you know what we could use for confirmation? Options. Ooh, options are still not looking so hot, man. In fact, for the longer dated stuff, this is the worst delta reading we've seen all day. So I know price is coming back a little bit, but I don't know. It's freaking me out. It's freaking me out, amigo. Why are we not seeing more bullishness in the options market? What's happening? Why is it not going up? This was kind of like the final thing I was looking for to take a bullish position. This was like my final filter of things to pay attention to. And I'm seeing options just getting hit right now, which obviously can turn on a moment's notice, but I don't need to front run anything silly like that. Queen of Swords, it's telling us, you got to just stick to it. I think today we will be rewarded handsomely if you could just wait for your opportunity. You don't need to rush it. You don't need to rush it. How often do I trade SPX? Every single day. It's probably the thing I trade the most. It's definitely the thing I trade the most. What is happening here? What in the world is happening? 310. Order filled. Well, some of these accounts got chopped to bits. So I think I need to lower the range. I think that's the trick, is lower the range. Or maybe just let it take its first trade of the day. Maybe literally trade one is the good trade. Azo is back to the drawing board. Coin's looking good. DJT's fighting back up. Look at this shelf here, just below 43. Rumble's also coming back up as well. I'd say look at the shelf at 660. Coin's having a great day. Tesla's having a great day. Netflix is actually finally moving. Apple's giving back. It's gained still up 1.5%. Decent cap up. Up. Is this it? Are we starting to go to the upside? Is this it? Is this it? Are we putting in a higher low? Yes, no. Is this it? Is this the buy opportunity of the day? Same high, potential higher low on the SPY and on the Qs. How's the Russell looking? Oh, the Russell's just ripping. The Russell's really ripping. What? Let's see how my Russell position's doing. Ooh, doggy. Up 15K on this bad mamma jamma. Up 32% today and up 122% in total. I've been in this since July 11th. So I've been in it for a minute. It's obviously trading at 370. I'm in at 164. And I played it with considerable size. So I played it with 12.2K. And it is moving. It is moving. It is grooving. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Our options, they are starting to bounce a bit. All right. When in Rome. When in Rome. All right. I submitted an order. Is it going to give me a fill? I'm trying to do my one disciplined options trading of the day. How did this not just get filled? How is my trade not getting filled on this? This is bullshit. Am I being a little too chasey? Oh, okay. Just got to fill. Crap. I think I moved. I could have gotten a better fill had I been slightly more patient, but hey, that was just to the tune of a couple seconds, which is probably a lot more luck than anything else. Anyway, all right. I'm thinking that this might be the play of the day right here. We put the arrow on the chart for a reason. We're looking for this breakout and the recovery from obviously this sell-off block. So I want to see the SPY get back to 562.68. Rum's catching a bid. DJT's catching a bid. The Russell's really catching a bid. Rum's starting to go right there. Whoa there, Tiger. All right, what time is it? It is 10 in the morning. 10 in the morning. Where in the world? Where? Thick trades. All right, if you are in the Discord, I'm putting my trade in right now. And we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Hoping for this follow through. Basically, the final thing, of course, I didn't have this extra data, but I was looking at the options dump. I was looking for a little bit of life in the options market, and then finally it started to pop, and that's what I used as my entry criteria. So not only did I have options picking up there, but I also had a higher low on this 1 minute chart. So same high, higher low, and then obviously my risk is well defined at the intraday low. So basically, if the SPY does crater, I'll get out, and hopefully for not that much of a painful hit, but we will see. The IWM, the small cap sector, is rocking. DJT flattening out right around 41. Rum catching up. Oop, there we go. You guys can't hear it because I stopped it, but geez, this bot is going crazy. Why? I know why. I must have done something wrong. That's the only thing that makes sense. What is 305? Back to the drawing board. Back to the freaking drawing board. All right, let's see how this does. We have quite the hole to dig myself out of today. Quite the hole. All right, the Qs are catching a bid. The SPY's catching a bid. Don't say I never did anything for you folks, because this is looking good now. In fact, Piper just fired. So if you're in the Discord, Piper just fired. I'm putting it in as quickly as I can. Today is the 15th. And my trade's already in there. So we are pretty much now done for the day. Pretty much now done for the day. What do we have? Okay, Piper's in there. If you were in the Discord, which you guys could all join, it's in the description. You could join for free for the first month if you use the code Goonie. Piper's in there. My own trades are in there as well. So my trade of the day is in there. Piper signal is in there. And then the other thing that I'm paying attention to is this, which is the play. I mean, you guys saw me do this one live, but currently rocking it up 17K. With this one, how's the Russell looking? That money means a lot to me. I'm not trying to say, oh, 17K doesn't matter. It does matter. But with that being said, the whole purpose of this trade, the one that's up a lot, like I admit this is a lot of money. It means a lot to me. But it's meant to be a trend following trade. And that was the whole purpose of the trade. And I don't see the trend slowing down. I see higher highs, I see higher lows. So why would I get out? Like I said, I want to see that test of 220. I want to see the test of 225. Basically, I'm just looking higher. I would love this upside gap fill at 228.54. If you're in a trend following trade, you don't get out when the trend's like going your way. So for me, I'm just trying to stay in as long as I believe that the trend is continuing to favor my position, which it should be. Because what was my strike? 220. All right, so I'm actually almost in the money. So I got this when it was trading at like 211, 212, thinking it could go up to reasonably 225, obviously predicting that it would go in the money. And fortunately, it's been trending nicely that way. I have about $4 more to go till I'm in the money. I think 225 is going to be a natural, just psychological point. And then from a technical perspective, there is this upside gap fill at 228.54. So with this, I gave myself a lot of time. August 16th. I have a full month from now. This isn't a day trade. It's not even something this week. I could be in this position feasibly for an entire month from this exact point, just to clarify like my thoughts and everything on it. All right. The SPY and the Qs. The Qs just hit their intraday high. But right here, I'm going to leave this because that's exactly where I called it out to you folks. The only other thing I need to do right now is maybe put in a profit target. Really? This isn't moving that much in my favor? I'm not even that much in profit. Was I just that late to the game on this one? I guess I did have a poor fill. I'm surprised that my little mini day trade isn't doing better right now. My little mini day trade. What are we doing, brother? Looking for this to take out the intraday high on both the SPY and the Qs. The Qs did take out the intraday high to the tune of a couple cents. And now it's just consolidating, maybe a cup and a handle type of a situation. So look for another test of 498. Wouldn't be surprised if it cups, puts in a higher low, and that's your handle, touches 498, breaks, and maybe rips all the way straight to 500. That will probably be acting as some sort of a magnet. But I think the trade of the day as of now is at 9.59. The trade of the day without having any future information, I believe, was at 9.59. Why I think that is because the 30-minute and the 10-minute on ES and on NQ were on the top side of the cloud, i.e. favoring the bulls. So my bias was bullish. Same thing with the Russell. The 10-minute and the 30-minute, the bias was bullish just because we were on the top of the clouds at that time. Remember, this is right before 10 a.m. So the other thing that happened of like, well, hang on, we were above it. Why wouldn't you have traded like somewhere in here? Well, that's exactly where, right here is where the options market started to pick up. So the market was going down and down and down, and then out of nowhere, it starts to pop. And that's why I really like this 9.59 trade, this 10 a.m. trade, because it was bleeding, and then something changed. So not only did we see something change in the actual options market, but it was truly in technicals as well, because on this minute push, we put in our first higher low with well-defined risk at the intraday low. So in terms of risk reward, it was good. And then we were also in phase with the larger trend. That's why I think going long at 9.59 was the trade of the day. Personally, I was a little bit late to it. I don't think mine fired. Actually, I could tell you exactly when mine fired. Filled options orders filled. Mine fired at 10:01. So I was behind it by 2 minutes, which mattered because right here, if 9.59 is the trade, I got in somewhere in here. So I don't know. It was a decent distance away. Like I could have got a better fill. But in retrospect, well, you don't really want to do it in retrospect because you never know. Like obviously I was calling this out. I mean, feel free to rewind in the stream. You want to do this type of analysis before you know where things go. You don't want to do the Monday morning quarterbacking BS. You want to be in there right when it's happening to be like, okay, what was the potential reward? Well, all the way here. Okay, what's the potential risk? Okay, down here. Okay, so the reward is more than the risk. Now, do we have things in alignment? Yep, the 30-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, the 10-minute, and then the final check. Okay, options are actually starting to pick up. So with that, is that 100% methodology? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's just you're increasing your odds. Remember, you're not in the game of actively trading, trying to win on every single trade. If you did win on every single trade, all the power to you. You're going to be a multi-billionaire. But remember, this is a game of, in the long term, the law of large numbers, will your strategy just keep grinding to the upside? You're going to have some winners, you're going to have some losers, but you need positive expected value. And obviously, as more and more things align, you're going to have better expected value without a doubt. Rum's picking up nicely. Tesla's picking up. Rum's actually now really going up 11%, making that recovery. It's battling it out at 660, which we called out right here, this little dancing around zone. All right. Got in at 9.49, DGen front run. Hey, sometimes front running, you get lucky. Can I check the options flow on IWM? Yep, right here. Here's the Russell. Bullish ever since 9.48. Ripped, took a breather, and then just ripping. Not necessarily on the 0 DTE, but in the longer term, you could see that people are buying. I assume buying calls. Yeah, they're buying longer dated calls like no other, just hitting an intraday high now. That's for the Russell. If you want to see the S&P 500, we kind of flattened out ever since 10:04. If you want to see the NASDAQ, kind of flat. If you want to see the Mag 7, the Magnificent 7 is picking up. I would not be betting against the tech sector today if the Magnificent 7 is behaving this strong. But yeah, the Russell's uniquely strong. The Mag 7 uniquely strong, and the S&P 500 in real time is like a little bit flat. Look at Tesla popping right there. Look at old Tesla popping. All right, I need to fix whatever in the world is happening with my malarkey. 304 and 318. So which one is this working the best on? 304 and 318. 304. 304. those middle range ones. Too much. Okay, so the Qs are a bit choppy, is what I'm seeing. Qs are a wee bit choppy. Strong, not absurd strength, but it feels like we're knocking on the door of a potential breakout on an intraday basis. Tesla's rocking, Rum's having, it's a nice percentage gain on the day. And look at this, it's coming back. Even DJT is now coming back. We have some moving stuff. Come on, Tesla. Come on, old Tesla. Not in love with the SPY taking a bit of a hit right now, but if it just can continue this trend of higher lows, I'm fine with it. Really, obviously, what I want to see is the breakout to the new intraday high. So let's throw this up there. Let's throw this up there. Would love to see new intraday highs on the SPY, the Qs, and hey, even the Russell. Even the Russell would be nice. Tesla's popping in real time. Coins also looking good. Nvidia's back into the green. Meta's back into the green. Netflix is continuing its grind higher. Apple is just catching itself going sideways. Rum is continuing to fight back. Bitcoin is almost at 63,000. Amazon looks like it wants to break out and move to the upside. Texas Roadhouse just kind of going sideways. Palo Alto Networks, strong recovery there, just up and away. Broadcom flat, doesn't really know what it wants to do. Nvidia not looking the best. So semiconductors having a little bit of an issue, but there are other sectors that are looking good. Microsoft flat, Apple flat. So the biggest companies are flat. Semiconductors are looking a little bit weak. Tesla's rocking. Coinbase is rocking. Netflix is rocking. Palo Alto Networks is rocking. So there's a handful that are really, really dominant in terms of big tech ones, but obviously specialize on DJT, currently up 36%. And then even Rumble's, up 11%. That's a nice push for it. That's a nice push for it. All right. Well, while we're waiting for what I think will be the eventual breakout here, the other thing I need to keep this is cruising. All right. I hate checking my swing plays on an intraday basis because it makes me antsy and it makes me want to take the profit. But I know I can't. Currently up 17K on this bad mamma jamma, 9K alone. So, hey. Slowly but surely making back my money from my mess ups last week. Not going to complain about that whatsoever. The 1 day return. You would think that if I had 75, why not just peel off 25? That feels like that would be a smart move. But alas, I am not a smart man. Dude, this is just going to cruise. Dude, this is cruising. How did it not pop on that? How did it not pop? I thought we'd be at 18K by now. Dude, we might be witnessing my best trade of the year on this one. We might be witnessing my best trade of the year, depending on if I fumble this or not. Do you guys want to make a secondary betting market on if I mess this trade up or not? I could run the book if you guys need me to connect the people. I'll give you certain odds. I think the odds are fairly 50-50 on if I mess it up or not. Uh-oh, what happened there? What in tarnation happened there? Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Is coin still? Coin's looking good. Tesla's looking real good. Rum's up 10. DJT's up 35. A little bit of a hiccup. Is anything else really popping? What else is popping? All right, I think we just have to wait. Like I said, I believe 9.59 was the trade of the day. I think there was good reasoning with the information at that moment in time to be bullish, and look at how it played out. I want 200 to 1 odds. Matt goes, Wait, do you want the odds that I mess this trade up? Right, don't. We should run a whole different book on it. I want 200 to 1 odds Mac goes negative on the trade. I hope I'm not so horrifically bad at this that I let it go negative. That would make me want to cry. But hey, I've done dumber stuff in my life. The SPY options are actually selling off a little bit, but price is holding. The Mag 7 just started to sell off in the options market here at 1016. And for the Russell, same thing. There was a hit right there at 1017. Folks, don't forget that Jerome Powell, right here, Jerome Powell will be speaking at 12:30 today. 12:30, Fed Chair Powell will be speaking. I'll show you what it is. Here's, what is it? The 15th, down to the 15th. Right here. Conversation with Rubenstein, who is the chairman of the Economic Club in Washington, D.C. A discussion with Chair Jerome Powell at the Economic Club of Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. Once again, that is 12:30 o'clock. 12:30 o'clock. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, the guy who now is basically saying, hey, should I cut the Fed fund rate? Should I not? As of now, there's a 93% chance of no Fed cut in July. There is a July meeting on the 31st, but in September, there's an 88% chance of a Fed fund cut. So this is his first public talk since the PPI and CPI Friday and Thursday, respectively, of last week coming out. So just want to let everyone know that we got some stuff going down. We got some stuff going down today. We will do a stream, a specialty stream. Obviously, that's at 12:30, so we'll start streaming at like 12:25. But I just wanted to let everyone know that this is probably something worthwhile to pay attention to. What are we doing? We're dancing around. I think we're getting I think my prediction of what's happening here is we're just putting in a higher low and then we pop and break out and push on an intraday basis. Loving this though. Loving this. I go in the money all the way up here at 220. 220. Oh, okay. I might take another swing position as well today on the Qs. I don't know. I don't know, mi amigo. I simply don't know. How's the SPY looking on the daily? Dude, the next thing to take out is the all-time high, and then 565 is where there's a lot of gamma exposure for all you Gex and Dex geeks out there. For all you Gex and Dex geeks. All right. Let me see. Do we have? What do we have? All right. That's down. I think it's a matter of time before we at least test these intraday highs. Also paying attention to options. What's going on here? Okay, another little bit of an upturn, especially on the 0 DTE in the SPY. So that's starting to get going right there. Nice. I think, like I said, matter of time in my book. And in the meantime, you guys were so kind to send in things to react to. So let's do exactly that. I love when you guys send things into this show. Makes me feel like this is a nice team effort. All right, this is what you guys sent in from over the weekend. What do we have here? That's a lot of words. Hang on, the sound's not on. This appears to be a clip from Destiny, who is a streamer.
Fuck it. Fuck the dude, the firefighter guy. Fuck Trump. Fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay? Just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away or whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am. 100%.
What a piece of shit. I don't think there's much more for me to add on to that. That's saying you're going to make fun of someone if they're literally just in a crowd and they ended up like catching a bullet. That's fucked up. That's it. You're a piece of shit. During the end of the President Joe Biden's speech at the Oval Office, he almost said, "Make America Great Again," before catching himself saying, "Think about it. What makes America so special?"
So tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit to think about it. What's made America so special?
Oops.
Here in America, everyone must be treated with dignity and respect. So tonight,
honestly, with his current track record, I give him applause that he caught himself, because I think the betting market would have said, low chance of catching yourself. So I'll give him a little props on that one. Nancy Pelosi, days before the attempted assassination of Trump: this is not a normal election. He must be stopped. He cannot be president.
Some people are saying because Donald Trump is such an authoritarian, an autocrat, we have to win this election. This is not a normal election where you want to win. If you don't, you cooperate and do the best you can for the country and hope to win the next time. This is something that is undermining our democracy, and he must be stopped. He cannot be president.
Order filled.
I think the only thing really undermining the democracy here are people like Nancy Pelosi putting that rhetoric out. Then it bounces around in those empty brains of crazy people. And then the crazy people go do crazy things. They need to be a lot more careful with what they're putting out there. It's ridiculous, with this past weekend being proof. That's how you know it was a liberal holding a gun. They missed. They don't know how to hold firearms.
I hope he holds the press conference right after. Many men, many men. They wish death on me. They shot me. They tried to shoot me.
His mannerisms
That's how you know
are
it
pretty
was
good.
a liberal holding the gun. They missed. They don't know how to hold firearms.
Order filled.
He didn't even believe in the Second Amendment. It was a fake gun. It was a fake gun. We found out later the bullets, they were real bullets, but they were made in China. That's where they were made. So soft, I barely bled. I shot the guy back. Nobody saw that. They cut the cameras. I hope he holds the press conference right.
It was a pretty good impression. Like, that was like the way he like did his hand thing. It was pretty good. Know how I know it was a liberal? He missed. The Qs just hit an intraday high. The Qs just hit an intraday high, mi amigo. A new intraday high. Oh, yeah. Thank you for whoever sent this in. Support for Butler, PA victims, President Trump authorized. It's already raised $3.8 million. Their goal was $1 million. Obviously, this is for the family of the victims of what happened in Butler, PA. Yes, Trump has, like, I guess, acknowledged this. $3.8 million, almost $3.9, $52,000 or 52,000 individual donations. There are well-known, large, well-respected, large platform people who have called this out, who have donated it to. I mean, I'm looking at this one, Rickon and Scott, 50 grand. That's crazy. Jesus. President Donald Trump has authorized this account as a place for donations to the supporters and families wounded or killed in today's brutal and horrific assassination attempt. All donations will be directed to these proud Americans as they grieve and recover. May God bless and unite our nation. So nuts. I believe Bill Ackman even donated to this. So if you just support this, support for Butler, PA victims, GoFundMe, it will show up if you feel inclined to do so. Imagine finding out your landlord is 12 years old. What?
We had a workshop called How to Manage an Airbnb.
Wow.
And we bought an Airbnb property. We actually have someone staying in it currently.
You do? Really?
Yeah, for the summer.
Now, are these things that you had any idea about before? Do any of your friends know about this? Like, when you go to soccer and you're talking to kids from other schools, are they also managing their own Airbnbs?
No, not at all.
No, they're not. Okay, great. So are students like you the ones that are responding back and forth to inquiries?
Right, so our leader for the workshop, Jamal, we would all look at a message from someone together.
But
We were all working together to decide on it. We practice those life skills in what we call workshops in the afternoon, in our afternoon block, and we're learning things like financial literacy, money management.
Couple thoughts. First of all, props to the kid for having a business mind at such a young age. But second thought, maybe rates do need to stay higher for longer, because that just seems crazy. We're nickety knocking Nickety knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Are we going to get going? Okay, what's your most controversial opinion? What's your most controversial opinion?
What's your most controversial opinion? Midgets are actually the normal people. We the freaks. The most controversial opinion.
Turkey bacon is not real bacon. There's no part of a turkey that has bacon on it.
What's your most controversial opinion?
Suge Knight is the good guy in the whole West Coast, East Coast beef now. You thought it was Diddy. No. It's Suge Knight. You were just being sizes. You're fast forward.
What's your most controversial opinion?
Stupid people is smarter than dumb people because the stupid people got it figured out and the smart people is trying to overcomplicate this shit.
That sounds stupid. What's your most controversial opinion?
Safe sex is not the best sex. And whatever he said.
What's your most controversial opinion?
The bathroom is not for brushing your teeth. That is the doo-doo room. Brush your teeth in the kitchen like a civilized adult.
Brush your teeth in the kitchen.
That's a bold take.
That's crazy.
I ain't getting poo flakes on my toothbrush.
What's your most controversial opinion?
Diddy's innocent. Not innocent of all this he's done, but like what he's being charged for is low-key innocent.
What's your most controversial opinion?
Wu-Tang.
What's your most controversial opinion?
If every pedophile has been molested, we should arrest everybody that's been molested to cut off the supply chain of pedophiles.
What's your most controversial opinion?
I think that we should only tip bartenders if they make cocktails. If they serve you a beer or a shot, we shouldn't tip.
I can get on board with that last one right there. Tipping on someone opening a beer seems weird to me. I can't even get an entry-level job with 2 degrees these days.
This is the most humbled I've ever felt in my life. I'm literally holding resumes, a stack of them, so that I can go in person to places and say, are you guys hiring? It's honestly a little bit embarrassing because I'm literally applying for like minimum wage jobs. And some of them are being like, we're not hiring. And it's like, what? This is not what I expected. I graduated college with 2 degrees in communications and acting. I speak 3 languages. Oh, this sucks. Like, I just want to be a TikToker if I'm being so for real with you. But I can't be delusional anymore. Like, I literally need to make money. So, I'm just going to keep trying. This is the most humbled I've ever...
The most useful thing that she said there was that she can speak 3 languages. Having 2 degrees, 1 in communications and acting, that adds up to nothing. A degree in communications. Have you guys met people who majored in communications? It's a joke. At least at the school that I went to Penn State. There was a lot of communication majors, and they were those exact kids that partied all of the time. It was not a difficult degree whatsoever. I don't know what a degree in acting does or doesn't require, but in terms of marketable skills in like just today's day and age, having those 2 degrees, if she said, I have a degree in accounting and chemical engineering, my mind would be blown. But of course she has it in 2 degrees that just no one puts value on, because like if you run a business and someone comes up to you with those degrees, what skill set can you utilize from them? The most useful skill set this woman has is that she could speak 3 languages. I'm surprised with that she couldn't get a job. But the whole I have X amount of degrees is like, what matters? It's not the quantity of degrees. It's the quality. What is your actual knowledge base? What is your actual skill set? Very, very different situation.
So I made a list of words that I think would make cute baby names if they weren't already words that mean something else. And they're a little redneck. First on my list, I have cigarette, except I would add an A on the end, so it would be cigaretta. That sounds like a Disney princess. It's just so elegant. Cigaretta. She's won the beauty pageant at the county fair 4 years in a row. Next up, I've seen a few people say this one, but I had to add it to my list. Felony. I know it's bad, but if you take away the meaning of it, that is such a pretty name. Felony. It's like Melanie. Felony. Or for a boy, you drop the Y and it's just felon. Next on the list is rifle. And I know some of y'all are probably like, I don't know about that one. Okay, well, picture a little red-headed boy riding a bicycle up and down your street, probably delivering newspapers. That's rifle. You see it now? This next one sounds a little exotic. Venison. Venison. I like it. She's probably moved here from out of town, real shy, real quiet, knows how to read a book probably. Next, I got Barn. That's right, Barn. Could be short for Barney, but it's not. Barn's the type of kid you want on your Little League football team. He's just tough as nails. Barn. Y'all let me know if you got any other good names.
He's not wrong. This is actually a really good take. If those words didn't already have, I think he made a really compelling case for all of those. Maybe we should take those names back and start using them. Burn. Cigaretta. Oh, there we go. There's the doozy. There she goes, mi amigo. There she goes. There she goes. Oh, Rum's giving back some of its gains. DJT, let's see if it can get above this. It's putting in a higher low. Can it break above? Coin's doing its thing. Whew! Dude, I'm so addicted to checking this. And I know it's so bad because it's just going to fuck, brother. Fuck me sideways. We're up almost 19, almost 20 G's on this motherfucker. This is going to be my best trade of the year. You are witnessing my best trade of the year, a trade that I did not think was going to go this way. But as the old adage goes, it's better to be lucky than it is to go fucking $20,000. That's so much fucking money. Do you know how many high noons I could buy with $20,000? Come on. I just wanted to see it actually say 20. I want that moment. Not that it really counts unless you lock it in. But golly. Folks, I don't know like what else I could potentially do besides show you that I'm like actually doing this and these are my actual trades, but this is what we talk about every single day in the Discord. You can be in the Discord for free. The first month is free if you use the code Goonie. So if you're like, hey, what did you see? Why did you like it? Why are you still holding it? If you have any questions about it, you could join this. We talk about this every single day. After the show, I go into the Discord, we chit chat, we trade options, we sell premium, we do some swing trades. We talk about bacon in odd amount. I don't know why that last thing's in there. I just feel like you guys should know. But for free, if this code Goonie right there is applied, I just pinned it to the top of chat. For some reason, the pin didn't stay on Rumble. Folks, if you want in on plays like this, you can do so for the first month for free. FREE. Just make sure GOONIE is applied. How's this other play doing? How's this other play? Positions. I'm up 800 on that bad mamma jamma. 800 on that bad mamma jamma. All right, I'm throwing in my order to get out of SPY. Oh, where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Look at Huma. Huma's that stock that Tommy Tuberville's in. This is that random ass. They're testing like fake synthetic skin on soldiers in Ukraine. The only elected politician to have ever traded it is Tommy Tuberville, which is interesting because he also sits on the Senate Committee of Armed Services. And this is a company that is directly working with soldiers. That's crazy. But yeah, no, it's up. He's making a killing on it. It's ripping today. It's up an additional 17%. It's a biotech play that his background is he was a coach. And you're telling me now he's just a phenomenal biotech stock trader? Super suspect. Super, super suspect. But yeah, it's up. I'm not going to chase it, but it's crazy. The ticker symbol is HUMA. The company is Humasite. There we go. The trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. Trade with the trend. Dude, coin is still going. Coin is still going. Dude, I feel like I called it out, and I'm just not. I told you guys, I pulled the Queen of Swords, and it said, if you are very diligent in sticking to your discipline for the day, you will make a bunch of money. And as much as it ripped, and then it dipped, and then it popped, then it dipped, then it started to pop. Right there, there's an arrow right when I called it out in real time. The Queen of Swords told us that this was going to happen. If you're sitting there and you're like, dude, I don't know, like, how do you make money? What am I doing? If you're getting whipsawed, if you're getting messed up today, the tarot card predicted this. You have no one to blame but yourself. You could have listened to this show for free. You saw me pull the tarot card. You saw me interpret the tarot card for the perfect entry on today at 9:59. This was the perfect entry of the day, in my humble opinion, with all the given information. And it worked out beautifully. There we go. Can we report Matt to the SEC for using black magic? You could try, but they wouldn't be able to comprehend it. They would sit there lost and confused and afraid. You could definitely try. You could give it the old college try if you must. Now the question is how to handle the exit. How in the world should I handle the exit? How do I want to do this? Do I want to take... I need to take about half off just to lower my risk on the trade, because I'm riding this up. I'm actually past my profit target on the day. I'm past my profit target on the day. Hello? What? What's trading? Oh, a runner got out. All right, so now I'm actually flat. Interesting, mi amigo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of these worked today. And 7 of them, 4 of them are blown. 3 of them are still like actively trading as we speak. Every time you feel like flexing those P&Ls, it's time to cut the trade. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know why it seems to be that way, but as soon as you like start feeling a little bit of your ego rear up, I fully agree it's honestly a good top-in sign. I don't know why it does that. But I really feel like as soon as you're like, dude, it's crushing, it's going, like that's probably the time where where it's time to lock it in. I agree. DJT still holding 40. Would love to hear. Let's actually have a breakdown and a breakout alert on this one today. Pretty easy. Obviously above 42.63. I think the Bulls are in control. Below 38.06, I think the Bears are in control. And until that range breaks, we just have to wait and be patient. Rum did have a nice pop, given some back, but it's still up on the day. Tesla actually looking crazy strong, trading at 264. I wanted personally Tesla to dip more. I wanted it to pull the 220 so I could go. I'm bullish on Tesla. I just didn't want to chase it at such high levels, and it looks like I'm missing out due to that. Coin, strong recovery on coin. But that makes sense because Bitcoin is also like beautiful recovery. I might actually take a position on coin pretty soon. Nvidia holding, Meta trying to not break down, Netflix trying to not break down, Apple new all-time high, Microsoft ripped, came down, classic breather, wait for it to maybe push 460. Amazon, similar situation, ripped, came down, just chilling. TLT, Texas Roadhouse, Boeing maybe breaking down there. Pan W maybe breaking out. Broadcom just going sideways. All right. The SPY and the Qs just moving. Palantir's having a good day. Old PLTR. It is up 3%. Ooh, nice follow through on this breakout as well. The time to get into this one as a swing trader was right back here, early June, right when it got back on top of the EMAs, pushed, pulled back, pushed, retested, held, and broke out. So you had an opportunity to get in early June, mid-June, and then also late June were 3 very viable opportunities to get in. My favorite one to get in probably would have been here on June 27th because you waited for the breakout, you waited for the retest, and then you waited for the continuation. I think the perfect opportunity would have been on the break of 24.65 on Thursday, June 27th. And at this point, we've never closed below really the previous low. So you'd still be in the trade ever since then. It's looking strong. So congrats to whoever caught it. Obviously, I wouldn't chase it now, but it is looking strong. Quite strong. Bitcoin's looking strong. Coin's moving. Coin is moving, brother. Our options are fading a little bit, but interesting that price is still going. Oh, actually in real time, as I say that, we're just seeing price continue. The Russell is now getting hit. Longer dated calls are now getting sold on the Russell. Mag 7 as strong as ever, just ripping. Yeah, trending up. Taking a little bit of a breather right now, but look at this trend. Just beautiful. Beautiful. What are your thoughts on BITX if bullish on Bitcoin? If you're bullish on Bitcoin, just buy Bitcoin. Why do you need some sort of secondary play? If bullish on Bitcoin, go play Bitcoin. Don't play the miners that have other things that need to be considered, i.e. various other forms of interbusiness competition. Like the fact that has to be considered. If you're in BITX, you should straight up like BITX. But if you're like, no, I just like pure Bitcoin, go play pure Bitcoin. All right, coin's going. Coin's up 10% on the day because of this recovery. I don't really actively trade crypto, but I do have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana in my wallets, and I just sit on them. I do like this recovery. I'd like it a little bit better if this said 73,000 instead of 63, but hey, it is what it is. Any good YouTube videos out there for option trading? I want to learn. There's a ton of free information across all of the interwebs. There's some specific ones on my channel. I have some like trading essentials playlists that you could watch. And also the more in-depth ones you can get in the Discord. So in the Discord, there's a lot of lectures from the past. Like I do specialty lectures in the Discord. They're all recorded. So when you join the Discord, you can watch the historic lectures that are much more in-depth. It depends on the level of options trading you're at. If you're very, very new, there's a ton of free information that you don't have to pay for at all. It's up to you and your own curiosity and drive just to find it on the internet. There's a ton. But then if you're at like kind of the next level where you're like, okay, like how do I build these into like a functional system that you can do day in and day out? That's what you could get once again for free in the Discord. For free. And there's also just, I think one of the most useful things in the Discord is really just the other people to bounce ideas off of, questions off of. It's almost 1,000 people right now in there, and it's a great group of people, if I do say so myself. Meta's now popping. Netflix taking a bit of a breather. Apple flat. Microsoft's catching a bid. Amazon is now taking a breather. Broadcom, PanW taking a dude. All right, so now we're at the point where things are taking a tiny bit of a breather after some pretty strong pushes.
Order filled.
Was that mine getting out? Trump 2024. Shout out to Cyprian. Mateo, can we get a GME update with the patented Matt Kors snark? Is it doing anything? No. What's the update? It's dead in the water. If you played options, if you bought calls or bought puts, you got crushed. So, once again, the market makers take your money. Congrats on playing, but the market won on that one. Market one on AMC. The Chewy has the most fighting chance right now. It has at least a little bit of range, but really the range is still dead. They all just got IV crushed. When chasing with calls or puts on these big movements is really silly because you're paying way too much in premium. I'm not talking about it from the vantage point of being bullish or bearish. I don't care your directional bias, but when people who bought calls and puts into this, people who bought calls and puts into this and this, you're overpaying. And as soon as the volatility leaves the system, you get crushed. That's a very, very important aspect of premium or options in general. When premium is high, you want to be a net seller. If it's low, you want to be a net buyer. And you could be bullish or bearish in either of those circumstances for being net long or being net short, but you have to know which way to do it. So what's something that's maybe elevated right now? DJT is probably elevated. So let me see. DJT. This is DJT, volatility. So you can see how the ones for July 19th, the fact that they're green, that means that they're very expensive. So even if you're bullish on DJT, you don't want to be buying calls. You want to be selling puts because they're more fairly priced. And then later out in time, if you're like, no, actually, I'm waiting for December. Well, these are cheap. So these are the ones that you would want to be buying calls or puts for. So you can be bullish by either buying calls or selling puts. You could be bearish by buying puts or selling calls. There is a time and a place for both. So right now, if you are very bullish on DJT, from a mathematical standpoint, it doesn't make sense to buy calls. It makes sense to sell puts for this expiration date. And now we're already pushing again. Look at this. Look at this. Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Is this trading again? Net long 304. 304. Net long. Net long. Right. This is, I guess, my
order filled.
It actually worked that time. So it went long 2, just locked 1 in. You're gonna have to, I suppose, take my word for it. So right here, net long 2, just locked 1 in, and then instantly set the other one to break even. So if it does come back down, no harm, no foul. No harm, no foul type of a situation. At least it's not going to cost it. Now, if it just keeps going, obviously great. Like you want to just ride it, but I'm trying to just be a little bit more respectful of my potential downside. A little bit more respectful. And on that, let me switch this back up so I can see whatever is going on. How did this not lock in? For the people in the Discord, my posted trade, I am trying to get out of half the position. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. All right, let's check in on the Russell. Oh, it's coming back with vengeance. Don't you guys worry. Don't you worry about old Mateo. It's coming back. You guys will be crying. Just tears of jealousy when you see how much this returns me. Yeah, 216.68 is cool. You know what's cooler than that? 226.69. Why not shoot? If we're here, why not go all the way up there, brother? Why not go all the way up there? Oh, I'm getting tempted to be bullish on the Qs again. I'm being tempted. Being tempted. DJT still in that range. Rum still green, but gave back some of its gains on the day. Coin is ripping. Tesla is breathing, but maybe trying to go again here. Meta's going nicely. Nvidia's coming back. Apple, Amazon. Okay. Okie dokies. Did I call it out perfectly, saying 9.59 was the trade of the day? Yeah, I did it. Why did I do that? Well, it's because I'm the best trader that has ever lived. I could read the market better than most people can read a book. That's just how it goes. like the freaking back of my... Some say I am the market. But in all reality, it has nothing to do with my discipline. It has nothing to do with my skill set. It has nothing to do with my interpretation of macroeconomic influences. It has to do with the fact that I'm wearing my Lucky Buffalo shirt and I pulled a good tarot card. When you have on one of your top 3 luckiest t-shirts and you adhere to the Queen of Swords tarot card that you pull, how could you lose? So all jokes aside, if you don't have a lucky shirt, go out and get yourself one. And also, if you're not believing in the heart of cards, what are you doing? Like, if you want to learn, if you want to trade with me in the Discord, if you want to learn from me, someone before was asking about options videos, what's more important than learning about options is getting yourself a lucky shirt and understand how tarot cards can tell you what's going to happen in the market that day. Those would be my 2 things. Like, get yourself a lucky shirt right away and get yourself a deep, deep knowledge and understanding of how the market gods speak to you through cat-based tarot cards. Did you escape the room? I was hoping that no one would bring this up. Well, folks, there's certain things as a streamer, as the world's largest Pico influencer, that I put out there, and sometimes I wish I didn't have Brad Pitt level fame following me around, because I thought you guys would forget about it, because honestly, I ended my 20s with a dark chapter. It was a dark chapter of which I concluded my 3rd decade of life. I ended up at a Fogo de Chao with my friends. As predicted, we ate an uncomfortable amount of meat and consumed an uncomfortable amount of beverages. We were ready to go. They didn't know what was happening. They're like, oh, wow, we have to go to Brooklyn. We had a very, very... Oh, gotta fill. We had a very strict time to be there. If you guys have never done an escape room, I highly recommend doing it. But it started at 8:45. We left at 7:55. Our ETA was 8:40. I thought to myself, wow, what a timely group of fellas. We're going to be 5 minutes early. I'll be able to explain the joke to them. It'll be fine. We hop in an Uber and we start driving. And I thought to myself, as various forms of tequila were coursing through my system, wow, it's a little hot in here. The Uber, that is. And then we kept driving, and I was like, feels like we're driving a lot slower than I thought we'd be. Wow, New York traffic's pretty bad. And then I looked down at my ETA, and now it says 8:45. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. They give you a 10 to 15 minute buffer. No problem whatsoever. All good. So I sit there. I'm trying to enjoy the festivities. I'm trying to enjoy hanging out with my friends and whatnot. And then it felt like we were just literally sitting in like standstill traffic. It's like, that's not good. And then I look at the ETA and it went from 8:40 to 8:45 to 9:10. It just jumped up another, 25 minutes. And I was like, what's going on? There was a fucking accident ahead of us. The cops were behind us. So we were literally, what was supposed to be about a 40-minute Uber, I was in that Uber from 8. We did not get dropped off until 9:30. It was brutal. So because of that, we lost most of our escape time. We like literally only had half of our time. So we put up a valiant effort. We really, really did. We put up a valiant effort, but we simply, with half the time allotted to us and everyone being flustered, the alcohol had left our system, the AC in the Uber wasn't working, so we're getting cooked. Like, it was bad, dude. We ran in. That was some of the worst gridlock BS traffic I've ever had to deal with in my life. The arrival at first was estimated to be 8:40. 40-minute drive. We got dropped off at 9:30. So it was an additional 50 minutes. We doubled our Uber time, and we tried to make the best of it, but I guess we're just not good enough detectives to have solved it in literally only half the time. So it was a bit of a bummer. It was the first escape room I've tried to do, but we didn't solve. So it was, like I said, I ended my third decade of life with it was a sad, dark chapter. And I could come here, I could have lied to you guys, and I could have said, hey, we crushed it, as you guys all expected. And I don't want to lie. I want to be transparent. I do. It was a brutal one. Absolutely brutal. Hang on, thick trades. 5 dropped at $1. I probably should have just swam. I should have probably jumped into the river. I probably would have been there faster, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And you know what else is what it is? Whoa, holy shit. Coin is really going. DJT picking back up. Rum picking back up. DJT, watch this 42. Coins up 12%. That's rocking. That's rocking. How's Russell doing? How's the old Russ? Oh, flirting with a breakout. So the SPY's looking great. New all-time high right there. Yes, another new all-time high. The Q's not an all-time high, but attempting to break out on the daily chart. On Friday, we posted an inside day. When I say an inside day, I mean means that the high was lower than the previous high and the low was higher than the previous low. So it's an inside day because the candle is perfectly encapsulated by the previous one. It's perfectly engulfed by the previous one. So that's an inside day, and now we're breaking to the upside of that. Probably should have got some calls, but we'll see. Obviously, the Russell's trending up, higher highs, higher lows. The SPY's also trending up, higher highs, higher lows. So whatever today's high is, that is the new high. My short-term target is 565. On the Qs, my short-term target is 503. And on the Russell, my short-term target is 220. On Bitcoin, for those of you who are curious, my short-term target would be 64. And if it breaks above 64, then I'd be watching 66 to 67, somewhere in that region. Next Matt escape room, we complete the room in half the time. We get there 2 hours early. Wait, who got bamboozled, hoodwinked? Bamboozled? Death beholden, you did? I'm sorry you're experiencing that. The bamboozlement. Am I still in this? Oh, holy shit, I am. That runner, I finally caught the runner. Right here. Look at this. Look at this. Caught it. When you catch one, you don't let it go. Went long, locked in one, set it to break even, and now it's just running. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal whatsoever. Order constant. Order constant. Folks, that's all she wrote. This is the kind of day you have when you're disciplined, when you pull the right tarot card, and when you wear your lucky shirt. I don't know what to say, but when the good times are rolling, you just let it rock. I'm going to go hang out in the Discord. I implore you guys to all join the Discord. You could do so for free. That trade that I have, that's up $20,000. That was extensively discussed in the Discord of why I'm doing it, what's going on, the management of it. So if you're curious, the mindset of other traders, we talk a lot about Apex with futures. We talk a lot about systematic trading. We talk a lot about options trading. It's basically just a live chat room of people who are trying to work on this together. So if you're looking for a community, it's not some preachy bullshit thing or signals or like that of oh, you just got to follow me. No, it's much more of a really, truly a team effort. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can join for free if you use the code Goonie, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. But obviously also a specialty shout out to Public. Public they've been partnered with us for a while. That's exactly where I'm doing my trades on options. It's my favorite place to trade options because it's the only place I know of where you get a rebate for trading options. No other brokerage does that. I highly recommend you all check it out. So show public a little bit of love. That's what I have for you. We'll be posting content later on today. Then we're also doing a specialty stream at 12:30. So in 90 minutes, we're going to be streaming again. We are doing a specialty stream today at 12:25. We'll start the stream. Jerome Powell speaks at 12:30. A specialty stream is going down today, just so everyone knows. 12:30 today, Powell is speaking. So I hope to see you guys in about 90 minutes, an hour and a half. And then we'll just chat then. So have a good one. Make a bunch of money. See you in a little bit. Peace.